Hello everyone, Mike here. Now, recently I started a little series where I talked about things I like in pro wrestling, just as a way to try to give some positivity in the world. And I want to do that in anime as well. And I specifically decided I wanted to start with one of my favorite animes, My Hero Academia, and basically go through the 1A class and list some things I like about each of them. And I'm going to start right with the student who sits in seat number 1, Yuga Aoyama. Now, I will say, for people who are anime only fans who don't read the manga, there will be spoilers, so you may want to avoid this video if that is the case. But let's get into just some things I like about Aoyama. And I'm not going to get into like a long thing about his history or anything. I'm just going to talk about things that I like about the character. And we're going to start with just the humor of him, specifically the fourth wall humor of Aoyama. As I'm sure people who've read the manga and seen the anime know, anytime he's on screen, he is always looking right at us. It's funny, no matter what's happening, what he's doing, he's zeroed in right on the camera. And he makes me laugh. He also is surprisingly aware. I mean, who is it who was one of the first ones to suggest that Uraraka had feelings for Midoriya? It was Aoyama. Now, he chose a less than ideal time to bring it up, but yeah, it's interesting that he was the one who first really took notice of it. He's one who can be brave, even though he doesn't always want to be. Look at the situation in the license exam, when he intentionally attempted to draw the attention of all their opponents to him so that Midoriya could get away. And then we get into some of these spoiler type stuff, and it's a lot of what we get from Aoyama after the big reveal that he is the traitor. I really like the parallels between Aoyama and Midoriya. Both of them were young boys who were quirkless, but wanted to be heroes. In Midoriya's case, of course, All Might came in and took him under his wing. In the case of Aoyama, it was All for One. All Might trained Midoriya and really worked him to help him prepare not only for the strength he'd need to be a hero, but the strength he'd need to even be able to control the power he was going to receive. Whereas All for One pretty much just thrust this power onto Aoyama and said, hey, okay, figure it out. Both of them deal with a lot of pain from their quirks, because in both of their cases, their quirks weren't really meant for their bodies. And just seeing how afraid Aoyama is to do the right thing, but still wanting to do it, it really takes this, what seemed to be a side, just throwaway joke character, and gives him such a strong story. I am going to be very interested when the whole thing ends to see what happens, because you do figure he's going to have to pay for what he's done. I mean, he's responsible for a lot of really bad things. It'll be very interesting to see where they go with him, but I love that Horikoshi really built him up after allowing him to seem like such a small character. And also, in some ways, he took an idea that just seemed too obvious because a lot of people said it was going to be Aoyama, but a lot of stuff just made it feel too obvious, like him disappearing during the training exercise and just saying, "Where was I? Oh, it's a secret." And the coming face to face with Dabi during the camp and somehow just getting left alone. A lot of stuff just felt so way too obvious. And that's what they went with. And in some ways that can work. You just make something so blatantly obvious that people start to think that there's no way they're going to do that. And then they do it. Yeah. Aoyama is a fun character. And I've been enjoying his story, especially since they started building him up. And before even the reveal, when they had the whole thing with him and Midoriya with the cheese and him, revealing that, he can relate to Midoriya because he struggles with his power. They really did a good job of making Aoyama an interesting character despite seeming initially like a joke. That's all I've got here for Aoyama. If you guys are fans of the character, tell me in the comments, what are some things you like about him? I will be coming back with more. I think the next seat is Ashido. I'll have to look, but either way, I'll be back soon with another little video on the next student from 1A. But that's all I've got in this one. So, until next time.